Hello and welcome to the Alcohol Recovery Show, where we discuss practical, actionable steps for anyone who wants to achieve their dream of getting and staying well, happy and free from any form of alcohol dependence. Hello and a warm welcome to the Alcohol Recovery Show. I'm glad you're here today. Whether you're listening because you're worried about your drinking, curious about taking a break from alcohol, supporting someone you care about, or already on the path to recovery, you are in the right place. Today's episode is a special introduction to an audiobook that has already helped thousands of people take those first crucial steps towards freedom from alcohol. It's called The 10-Day Alcohol Detox Plan by Lewis David, and it's available on Audible. Now, if the phrase 10-day detox has you thinking that it's some extreme sort of boot camp, let me reassure you right away, it's definitely not about punishment, suffering, or white-knuckling your way through misery. But what it is about is structure and hope. And most of all, it's about proving to yourself that change is possible sooner than you think. Now, let's be honest, when alcohol becomes a problem, people often feel trapped in one of two stories. Story number one might say, I'm not bad enough to need help. Story number two is, I'm too far gone to change. And both stories keep people stuck. Many people who struggle with alcohol live in this grey area between social drinking and complete collapse. They're not experiencing any sort of total rock bottom. Outwardly, they look like they're functioning. Could be going to work, paying bills, smiling at everybody. But inside, they feel exhausted, anxious, ashamed, and wondering why stopping can feel so hard. They may even feel like they're living some sort of like double life, where there's a certain set of people know them as a responsible person who gets on with life and seems happy and healthy, and another group of people who know them as the heavy drinker who always pushes things to the extremes and things get a bit messy. Now, if that sounds in any way familiar, remember it's not because you're weak. You're actually dealing with a habit that affects the brain, the nervous system, the emotions, your sleep, your confidence, and your routine in profound ways. And as we've talked before on this podcast, that's why willpower alone often fails. So if we can't rely on willpower and our nervous system and our mind and our thinking's all muddled up, what can help? Well, what helps is a clear roadmap. And that's exactly where the 10-day alcohol detox plan comes in. Now, specifically, the audiobook is designed to guide listeners through the first 10 days of stepping away from alcohol, which are often the most emotionally charged and mentally challenging stage. Now, if you've already read the 10-day alcohol detox plan, maybe you didn't finish it. Perhaps you've struggled even with reading it to get sober. I would urge you to get the audiobook because listening to material can often have a different and more profound impact. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. So those first 10 days. Now remember, 10 days is not forever, and it's definitely not the sort of approach that says you've got to fix your whole life by Monday. It's just 10 days. And sometimes 10 days is all a person needs to break the momentum of drinking, to gain clarity and realise, I can actually do this. So let's talk about why those first 10 days matter so much. When someone stops drinking, several things begin to happen. The body starts adjusting, sleep begins to shift, hydration improves, energy can fluctuate, moods can swing, and cravings may come and go. The mind might start bargaining. There's a little voice that says, okay, you've proved your point. You can start again tomorrow. One drink won't hurt. Oh, this is boring. Or, you deserve it. If you've ever tried to stop drinking, you'll know that voice well. So the audiobook helps listeners prepare for that voice instead of being ambushed by it. It offers daily focus, encouragement, and practical strategies. So you're not simply not drinking, you're actively recovering. And that's a huge difference, because empty space often gets filled with cravings, but purposeful structure gets filled with progress. So I'm going to fade out for a moment and let you listen to a sample from the 10-day alcohol detox plan, written by Lewis David and narrated by Jason Zenobia. So here it is.
When you stop drinking, your body needs time to rid itself of every trace of alcohol and for you to become fully detoxed. The time varies from person to person. A lot depends on how much you were drinking before you stopped, whether you had been cutting down beforehand, and how well your body processes alcohol. But you should be fully detoxed after 10 days. Those first 10 days are a tricky time for the newly sober person. As the level of alcohol in the body declines, you are likely to experience cravings, notably in the first 3 or 4 days. For most individuals, these cravings will be tolerable, but for heavy drinkers, these can be very unpleasant and accompanied by withdrawal symptoms. However, if giving up alcohol was merely riding out some uncomfortable feelings for a few days, like getting over a minor illness, it would not be that difficult for most people to do, and you probably would not have bought this book. What many drinkers find harder to cope with is the mind games that coming off alcohol produces. Things can get a little crazy. Your thinking can become emotional and less reliable than usual. You will also come up against the power of ingrained habits that you have formed around drinking, especially if you have daily drinking rituals, like having a drink after work, or if your social life is based around drinking. Not surprisingly, many people don't make it through those first 10 days. But there is a simple solution. You are listening to it right now. I have written this book to achieve 2 things. Firstly, to walk you through those first 10 days, making it as easy and painless as possible. Indeed, I hope you will find it enjoyable. Secondly, to give you the knowledge you need to move forward and reach your non-drinking goal, whatever that might be for you. People will listen to this book for many reasons. You might be planning a short break from alcohol, like a dry January. You might want to give the booze a rest while you lose weight, get fitter, study for a qualification, or save money. A doctor may have advised you to quit because of a related health issue. Or maybe alcohol has caused you serious problems and you simply want to quit for good. Whatever your long-term goal, you will need to get through those first 10 days and gain the skills to keep going thereafter. But you now have a plan to achieve this. It's a simple plan. You just need to listen to this book during those 10 days. Yes, it really is that easy. Just listen to this book and apply what you learn. There is, however, a potential spanner that could be thrown into the works of this plan. Apparently, something like 60% of books are not finished. We know this because with digital books, the site you bought it from can track how many pages you finish. This is especially true of non-fiction books. I understand why this is. I've done it myself. You realize that the writer has said all the interesting stuff in the first 50 pages. You think, I've got this now, and go and buy another book, or turn on Netflix, or go shopping, or whatever. But this book is different. You need to listen to the whole thing and absorb its information so that the plan works. If you skip through the book and then switch it off, you might retain 1 or 2 useful ideas, but it's far better that you keep listening throughout the 10 days, because some concepts in this book will take a little time to fully sink in. I've laid out the main body of this book to be listened to a day at a time. You will find that during those 10 days we will cover much ground, which I hope you will find thought-provoking and stimulating. You will learn more about yourself, not just in relation to alcohol, and the knowledge you gain will help you with other challenges in life beyond giving up drinking. There will be some short written exercises to complete, so it is a good idea to have a pen and paper handy as you listen to the book. To help clarify the exercises, I have included some worksheets in the download page to assist you. You can find the download page for this audiobook at winspress.com/audio.
So there you have it, a little introduction to the 10-day alcohol detox plan available on Audible. Now before we go, let's talk about why audiobooks can be so powerful in recovery. Now reading a book is wonderful. I love reading. It helps me escape into a different world or gain lots of new information and really absorb myself in it. But if I'm feeling anxious, tired, overwhelmed, emotionally fragile, sitting down to read can feel difficult. I can't focus. And often that's exactly how people feel in those first few days after stopping drinking alcohol. Anxious, tired, overwhelmed, emotionally fragile. But the magic of audio is that it meets you where you are. You can listen on a walk, in the car, at bedtime. You can listen first thing in the morning. That's a wonderful way of setting yourself up for a good day. You can switch the audiobook on if you're experiencing cravings, or during that vulnerable hour when you'd normally pour a drink. It's a calm voice in your ear reminding you what matters can sometimes be the difference between giving in and pushing through. That's why many people use recovery audio almost like a companion. It's like having a coach in your pocket, a wise friend on demand. So the 10-day alcohol detox plan is designed exactly for that kind of support, as indeed are our other books on Audible, including Mindfulness for Alcohol Recovery, Women and Alcohol, Alcohol and You, and Sober Winners, to name just a few of the books available from Wins Press, available as audiobooks on Audible. Now before I go, I also want to say something important. If someone drinks heavily every day or has experienced severe withdrawal symptoms, medical support may be necessary when stopping drinking. Safety matters. Remember, there's no shame in seeking professional help. Recovery is not a purity contest. For many others, however, the first challenge is simply making a serious start, replacing vague intentions with committed action. And that's where that 10-day framework can be so effective. Instead of saying, I'm quitting forever, which can feel overwhelming, you say, I'm committing fully for 10 days. That feels real, manageable, concrete. And once 10 days are complete, many people discover benefits they didn't expect. The benefits include better mornings, less anxiety, sharper thinking, improved digestion, more confidence, better sleep, less shame and regret. And perhaps the most important thing of all, hope. Hope is powerful, because once someone experiences life improving without alcohol, motivation changes completely and you get into a different pattern, a different momentum. You're no longer trying to lose something, you're trying to keep something valuable. So even if you've had a period of stopping drinking successfully and you just need a little bit more motivation, the 10-day alcohol detox plan could be helpful for you too. Or if you're listening today and you're wondering whether you need help, perhaps ask yourself these few questions. Do I think about alcohol more than I'd like? Have I made promises to cut down and broken them? Do I feel anxious after drinking? Is alcohol affecting my sleep, my mood, relationships, or self-respect? Am I tired of starting over? If the answer is yes to even one or two of these questions, it might be time to try something different. And if you're someone who cares for a person who's struggling with alcohol, this audiobook may help you recommend something practical without judgment, because sometimes people don't respond to lectures. They might respond to a challenge, especially a challenge that has structure, and each step laid out clearly. It also has the benefit of being a private way to begin, because many people want help long before they're ready to talk about it openly. So listening privately can be the first bridge to change. Before we finish, I want to speak directly to the person who feels discouraged. Maybe you've tried before. Maybe you've relapsed. Maybe you've promised yourself every Sunday that Monday would be different. Maybe you feel embarrassed that something legal and socially normal has become such a struggle. But hear this. Past attempts are not proof of future failure. They're proof that you still want freedom, and wanting freedom matters. Sometimes success comes not from trying harder, but from trying differently and making sure that you have some guidance, structure, support, compassion. So that might be why this audiobook resonates with so many listeners. Just look at the reviews. It's helped many, many people. It's helped them turn a vague wish into a clear path. So if you're ready for a reset, curious about alcohol-free living, or simply want to hear a practical and encouraging guide to getting started, check out the 10-day alcohol detox plan by Lewis David, available now on Audible. And remember, 10 days can't solve everything, but 10 days can begin something, and beginnings matter. Thank you for joining me in the Alcohol Recovery Show today, and if it's helped you, please share it with someone who might need it, and take care of yourself. Stay hopeful, and remember, change often starts with just one decision, one day, and one step at a time. See you next time. Bye.